Thank you. Thank you for being here today. My name is Talonya Adams, and I called this press conference because it has become evident and clear to me that I am playing a role in the 2022 Arizona primary election and likely the general election as it relates to who will become the next the next governor of the state of Arizona. I am a lifelong Arizonan, and I'm so happy to be here today to talk about my experience, to talk about how it has come to be that I've gotten involved in this campaign, and certainly to speak about a man I think is of great character and a man in this moment is prepared to lead Arizona through the convoluence of crises that we face, from water to the privatization of schools to homelessness to healthcare to energy. We have significant issues in the state of Arizona. I was born here. I've spent the majority of my life here. And this is an exciting primary election for me, in part because I've found my way triangled into it, but also in part because it is the first time in decades that I will be voting for a Democrat that is for the candidate and not against bad Republican policy. And so right now I want to introduce Jana. She is with us today, and she's going to share some words and do a prayer. And then I will begin. We will hear from Mary Rose Wilcox, and then we'll proceed. Thank you.
Well, good morning. My name is Jana Scott, and I am a minister of the gospel, and I'm honored to be here this morning in support of my friend and colleague, Marco Lopez. He and I work together in one of the most collaborative governor administrations that this state has ever seen. I know that he is a man of faith, a man of character, a man of integrity, and he will unite Arizona. And I'm really praying this morning for unity in our state. Many who know me as a minister of the gospel know that my heart is to see our state united, regardless of your political party, regardless of your affiliation, regardless of any of the issues or characteristics that you come with, that we can be one in this state and we can unite together and make a difference. So I want to start with a word of prayer. God, I thank you this morning that you have made your light shine on Arizona. Even our state motto is that you increase. So God, I pray that you would increase united, not to be divided, particularly not divided by political affiliation. I thank you, God, that even though we may disagree on some things, we commit to not be disagreeable, but to work together for the good of all people of this state. I thank you as I stand here today, God, with one of your men of God, Marco Lopez, and I pray for him and all who are like him, who want to see this state arise to the place that we can be a beacon of light for the rest of the nation, instead of a place where everybody points to see problems that are going on, a division and wrangling. God, we thank you for the spirit of unity that this man will bring to the office of the governor. And I thank you, Father, now that whatever happens in the election, that he will seek to bring people together. You know, that he would seek to be a uniter, not a divider. So we thank and praise you. Let the words that be spoken today not go against anyone, but go for this state. And I pray this in the name of my Lord and Savior, Jesus the Christ. Amen. Amen.
Thank you, Pastor. My name is Mary Rose Wilcox, and I'm here today for a couple of reasons. One, Talonya Adams is a woman who I really feel is a woman of integrity, a woman who stood up for the rights of women, of minorities, and of people who have been unjustly dealt with. So I'm very, very proud to be here with her. I'm very proud that she's supporting our candidate, Marco Lopez. My husband and I, Earl Wilcox, have had the honor and the pleasure of seeing Marco grow into an incredible, experienced, talented this state into a new era. We need him very, very badly. We need him to set the tone for people who are getting elected to come up and speak out in the issues that we need to speak out on. Recently, Marco did a debate on PBS, and my husband and I were watching it, and we were so proud of the issues that he covered. He is so experienced. He knew water, he knew climate, he knew housing, he knew what's the matter with our state and how to fix it. And we were very surprised that his opponent did not even show up. You know, I wish he had had a picture of her and put it there and say, this is what she feels about debates. You can see her, but you can't hear her. But let me tell you, you can hear Marco loud and clear, and we know that he is qualified. He has city, state, and federal government experience. He knows how government works. He knows how it does not work, and he knows how to fix things in Arizona. So ladies and gentlemen who are watching, and ladies and gentlemen of the press, please follow Marco this month. Please get your vote out today. Experience. We're tired of being represented by people who do not have the experience that Marco has. So with that, I'd just like to say that I support Marco 100%, and I hope that Arizona wakes up. And as Jonna said, we don't want to be known as a state to point fingers at. We want to be known as a progressive state and a progressive people. Thank you very much. Vote for Marco Lopez. Joe.
Morning. Morning. I'm Joseph Garcia, Executive Director of Chicanos por la Causa Action Fund, and our PAC enthusiastically endorses Marco Lopez for governor. And it's important to know why we did it. It's not because Marco Lopez is a Latino, although electing more people of color is important. It's because he understands the issues that affect all communities, including the forgotten communities and marginalized communities, which include people of color, which includes the working poor, which includes tribal and rural Arizona. He understands all of this. And for us, it was a hands-down endorsement with a thumbs up that Marco Lopez will be the next governor of Arizona. We implore people of color and our supporters to vote for Marco Lopez, including independent voters who can vote in this primary election. Absolutely. You only need to request a Democratic ballot and your vote will count. It is so important for your voice to be heard, to send a message that Arizona is a diverse state, believing that diversity makes us stronger as a nation and as a people and as a culture and as a state. It is time no longer where Arizona gives itself a black eye, but it's time for us to shine our light. Marco Lopez represents that light. We enthusiastically endorse him, and we hope that you support him in this election, this primary election. You must vote in this primary election for Marco Lopez. Thank you. Thank you, Joe.
Thank each and every one of you. I appreciate you, and I appreciate you for being here today. I'm very grateful to the media for covering this event. I'm very grateful for your involvement in bringing issues forward in what's happening in our government, both locally and within our state. I believe it's a historic time in the state of Arizona. I think we certainly are in a time of change. Between the COVID-19 pandemic and the isolation that has occurred, the polarization of our politics, it is time that we vote for change. And I believe Marco Lopez is a man of great character. He is a man of faith. Marco is a person that has committed his life's work to public service. And it is time that Arizona had a public servant on the 9th floor doing the work on behalf of the people. Over the last year and a half, Marco has traveled this state, every inch of this state. He has been in all 15 Arizona counties. He is on the ground. He is doing the work. He cares deeply. He has political ideas, right, that folks are unwilling to even engage in debate on. He is talking about issues that our state is facing. We are in a mega drought. We have a world of crisis. There is 5 blocks down a homeless crisis that this state has not seen before. Housing affordability is incredibly difficult right now. Arizona families are struggling, and what we need is to restore power to the people. We need to restore representation to all people throughout the state of Arizona, on Indian country, in rural communities, in urban environments, from South Phoenix to North Scottsdale. And I believe that Marco Lopez is the person that has the ideas, the public policy, the experience, the conviction, and the character to serve us on the 9th floor. His courage and his bravery to even raise his hand and put himself forward at a time like this, it is very moving to me. And I want people to know, as we see in social media and we see elsewhere, racism is on the ballot, women's rights are on the ballot, civil rights are on the ballot, leadership is on the ballot. And if you're an Arizona Democrat, if you love this state like I do, if you're an Arizona independent, you can secure a ballot. You can go to marcolopez.com and find a way to join us and vote for leadership this August 2nd. Early ballots started going out, early voting begins today, and I really want to encourage civic participation. We need a change, and it's not about partisanship. It is about leadership. And I am so grateful and proud that Marco is an option. I am convinced that he is the strongest options Democrats up and down the ballot have to win in this midterm election. And so with that, I just want to say I'm just a citizen exercising my voice and right to be heard, and I want to use my voice for the well-being of a state that I call home, that I love. And I am proud today to endorse Marco Lopez as the next Democratic candidate for governor of the state of Arizona.
Thank you, Talonya, and good morning, everyone. Before I begin my remarks, I would ask that we pause for a quick moment of silence in recognition of those lost in Illinois in another tragic gun shooting just yesterday. Thank you. Talonya, thank you for your courage. Thank you for your leadership in standing up for Arizonans of all stripes, of all shades, of all beliefs, and of all backgrounds. It is that courage that I see across this state in each one of the 15 counties and 22 tribes that I've had the opportunity to travel over the last 15 months. It is not easy. It is actually hard to stand up against an establishment that continuously tells us you have to conform to what we believe. You have to obey the beliefs that we want to promote. As I travel this state, what is clear to me that that is not the right choice. That is not the right path. As I was getting ready to come out here this morning, I noticed that once again, Democrats were criticizing Kari Lake for her last endorsement of Russell Pierce. And that is so significant. And why I'm honored to be here with you, with Salvador Reza and Mary Rose and Jana Scott and Earl and Promise Arizona with Petra Falcon and so many others. Because as Democrats criticize Russell Pierce, they look the other way, and in their midst, in our own party, we have the only candidate for governor in the country, in the United States of America, with a record of discrimination. And Democrats don't do anything about it. They stand in the sidelines. They criticize Russell Pierce. They criticize Joe Arpaio. And yet, they are willing to support the only candidate in the country with a record of discrimination, and her name is Katie Hobbs. And they do nothing. It takes courage, folks. Talonya, your courage, your commitment, your dedication to Arizona is why I know we will win this race, and why I know that as ballots begin to arrive in people's homes, they will make the right decision. Because they're tired of the old political games. They're tired of being told that they have to conform with the status quo. No, folks, we don't have to conform. We can be better. We can do better, but we have to believe in ourselves. If we don't believe in ourselves, we cannot take the next step. And we will continue to be the state that has a black guy after black guy after black guy, whether it be Joe Arpaio or SB 1070 and Russell Pierce and Jan Brewer or Donald Trump. We're tired of it. And it'll take that coalition. I'm the only candidate that over the last 15 months has been building that coalition of black, brown, Asian American, Native Americans that we will need to win. But we need action, folks. We need folks to stand up, think about the future that they want on education, on healthcare, on jobs, on home affordability. That's the decision on the ballot. So I am encouraged, Talonya, I'm touched and deeply grateful for your support and the support of those that are with us today, and over 64 endorsers from throughout this state that are committed to that change. Thank you so much. Talonya, I don't know if you want to take questions, but with that, we will end the conference. I don't know if anyone else has anything else. Salvador, si quieres decir algo en español, también con mucho gusto te invitamos al podio.
No, nomás parece que no hay muchos medios en español, pero
Yeah.
de todos modos la razón por la que yo apoyo a Marco, porque cuando toda la gente está, como quien dice, no apoya a la comunidad, Marco ha estado siempre con nosotros, siempre ha estado apoyando los temas que nos preocupan a nosotros, ¿no? Y además, pues, necesitamos a alguien que nos conozca, necesitamos a alguien que sepa lo que necesita nuestra comunidad, porque él viene también de una comunidad en Nogales y conoce muy bien nuestras culturas, no nomás la mexicana, sino todas las culturas alrededor de él. Y más que todo, pues tenemos que salir a votar y tenemos que asegurarnos que aquí en el Capitolio, en lugar de tener gente que nos va a estar pues atacando como lo hizo Jan Brewer, como lo hace Doug Ducey, vamos a tener gente que va a estar escuchando nuestras necesidades y va a estar promoviendo el cambio que se necesita. Muchas gracias.
Gracias, Salvador.
We're happy to stand for questions if you guys have any.
Yeah, question for Marco. You know, those were pretty tough words for Katie Hobbs. Do you think that she's a racist? Would you describe her that?
I don't think they're tough words. It's the facts. And I think the record that Talonya has faced over 7 years proves that she has discriminated. And it's not just a word. It's not just a belief. It's 2 jury verdicts, almost $3 million later, that Arizona taxpayers are on the hook for. So let's not be confused. These are facts. There's a record.
Right, so would you describe her as a racist?
I think people will make up that mind. They can read the transcripts.
Talonya, if she were the nominee, would you support her?
Your question is
If Secretary Hobbs were the nominee for the Democrats, would you support her or would you be supporting a Republican?
I think what I can tell you is I'm a lifelong Democrat. I have heavily voted Democratic in my voting history, and when there was an opportunity to vote for leadership, I have made different choices. I think that today is about the endorsement of Marco Lopez. I think it's also incredibly important to note that while his opponent may be the sitting Secretary of State, all Arizonans should be concerned about a woman at the helm of our elections, set to oversee them and refusing to participate in an Arizona Democratic partisan primary process. That is profound to me. I don't think that's answered your question, but come see me on August 3rd.
Did you support Secretary Hobbs in the Secretary of State's election?
In 2018, when Senator Katie Hobbs was running for Secretary of State, I did not vote for her. I did not endorse her. And, it's noteworthy that Barack Obama was making endorsements in this state, in statewide and congressional elections, and he didn't endorse Ms. Hobbs either. So, no.
And when you say that she's not participating in the process, are you specifically talking about the debate that she did not attend?
I think the debate is one of many. I mean, she has made statements most recently to Bram Resnick on News Channel 12 that she's focused on the general election. She's focused on keeping Arizonans from, Kari Lake. We don't need someone who is ill-equipped, who doesn't understand the multiple crises that this state is in, who is too afraid to even show up at events where Miss Lake is at, who cannot debate, who lacks fundamental skills, who has 2 jury verdicts convicting her of race discrimination, sex discrimination, and retaliation. She has no ability to lead, and that's the truth of the matter, is that Marco's opponent is not just Katie Hobbs. It's an entire machine and establishment and power structure that silently behind the scenes does everything they can to put both feet on the scale for an inept racist.
Let me just answer your question as well. We've been at over 20 forums, debates, meetings, and in none of them does she show up. None. All across the state. So the PBS last week was just the latest example that you see. But she will not show up. If you are not competent to talk about the issues affecting Arizonans, the easiest thing to do is not show up. And guess what happens? If that's the regard that you have for citizens across this state, they will not show up for you. You do not deserve them to show up for you. That is why it is more important than ever that people realize if we want a shot to restore the promise of Arizona that brought my parents here and that brings so many people here, we have to defeat the Republican machine. And I'm the only one that can do that up and down the ballot. You have to show up. You have to be competent. You have to be able to articulate a vision and a path forward. And because she can't do that, and because she can't address the 2 verdicts against her for race and sex discrimination and retaliation, she rather does not show up. That's why. Let's not be confused, folks. It's very easy. You don't show up if you don't want to be accountable. And the last time I checked, we already have a politician in Arizona that doesn't show up for Arizonans. And as a result, we have a Senate that is deadlocked and isn't doing their work. It's time to hold people accountable. The only way you hold people accountable is to make sure they don't even get elected. And that's what we're asking Arizonans today. Let's not make a mistake. Let's get this right this time, because the stakes are just too high. I also want to just acknowledge President and CEO of Chicanos por la Causa, David Adame. Thank you for coming, David.
Thank you.
And your big commitment, David, I don't know if you want to just mention, to making sure that people get out and vote.
Absolutely, and this is the main reason why I'm supporting Marco. He's willing to go to our community and find out what are the challenges. Like any community, we have the challenges with education, healthcare, all the things happening during the pandemic, and we saw it firsthand. We served over 2 million people with this, but who was able to talk to us was Marco and help us understand what's going on in this state so that we could better serve the state, and that's why we're here. We want to make sure that somebody's willing to listen to us, understand us, and make sure they support us at the end of the day, because we're 30% of this state now, and we're making a $10 million investment.
33%.
33%, sorry. I'm cutting it short, like other people do. But yes, we're going to get the vote out and make sure that our voice is heard, and we're going to vote for folks that listen to us and are willing to make sure we understand where they stand on education. Without her showing up to the debates or the forums, we don't know where she really stands. Last time I saw on Channel 12 last Sunday, on the show, she said, well, I've already talked about those things. I don't need to talk about them anymore. They already know where I stand. I don't know. I want to know where she stands in education. We're also supporting the passage of Proposition 308, which will allow our community to pay in-state tuition for DACA students. That's the future of our state. We need those workers. They're critical. It's an economic issue. It's not an immigration issue. I sit on all the economic councils in this state, from Tucson to Flagstaff. And now the question being asked by companies are, what's the prepared workforce? Not just taxes anymore. What's the housing? So we need to understand where she stands on all these things. We're not, by silence, we don't know. So how can we support somebody who won't tell us where they stand on critical issues that affect our community in a big way? So that's why we've endorsed our action fund. Si Se Vota Action Fund, Si Chicanos por la Causa, has endorsed Marco, and we're looking forward to him to being our next governor. Thank you.
Thank you. All right.
People are voting as of a few hours ago. Do you have the time and the money, the resources to sort of build up that gap and get across the finish line?
Look, I listen and take instant polls every second, every minute that I'm in living rooms across the state, or town halls, or gymnasiums, or small living rooms, talking to people. That's what matters. This is, as Talonya mentioned, this isn't about the pundits. This isn't about the establishment. That's what matters most. And so I have full faith and confidence on the people of Arizona that I love so much that they will put us through the finish line. I don't need to depend on the establishment to tell me what is your plan. Just watch. Go to marcolopez.com. Be part of the movement. Register to get your ballot. Get out and vote. And register to volunteer. We're doing phone banks. We are crisscrossing this state for the next 27 days. That's what matters. And I invite Arizonans to join us at marcolopez.com, because that's how we're going to change the trajectory of this state. It's the only way we can do it. Thank you all very much. Have a great day. And remember, if you haven't gotten your ballot, you can still do that. And go out and vote. Encourage 10 other people to go out and vote. Encourage thousands of people to get out and vote, because that's what we need. God bless you all. Thank you.
Thank you.